take care of you.
Okay, I am back again, trying it again. Let's see if we can get Shante on here. Sometimes with the iPhone, it's a little easier to pull people in when they are having problems connecting. So we are going to wait for Shante to get back on. I'm not sure if she'll call me or if she'll just log on. But this time when she logs on, I'll be able to bring her in. As I was saying before she called me, though, so I bought this new little gadgety thing that's supposed to help me, do my interviews. It's got a little tripod on it and everything. You see, it's all, sophisticated for my cell phone. And when I tell you, the phone does not even fit in the little thing. Like, I'm still sitting here propping up my phone so I can have a conversation with y'all. So I am going to have to send this back to Amazon because I do have Prime and try to find something else that can help me hold my phone and that has a tripod attached to it so that I don't have to worry about it falling down. So I'm angry. Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Shay. How y'all doing? So we are waiting for Shante to come back on, and then we can pull her in. Let me send her a text, make sure she knows that I'm back online. Hold on. Hey, girl. So, yeah, I was telling Jonathan, because he was the only one watching at the time, I think, that my little comical little whoozy what's it is not working right now. Like, it is just not helping me out. I'm just angry with that because I just knew I was going to come in here and hook my phone up and not have to worry about ducking down and making it slide by. But, yeah, it ain't worked that way. So, we'll see what happens. I sent her a text so we can see when she comes on. And, Shay, I told you when we did ours, it just never fails. Facebook is just not... Oh, there she is. So I just invited her in. Let's see. Hey, I am adding you on.
Thank God.
There it is, connecting.
We got it. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened, but I ended up doing it from my phone instead of my computer.
Oh, okay. No worries, though. No worries, because Shay is on here, and we were just saying we had to say it's Facebook. It's not us. It's Facebook.
Okay. I'll take that.
It's Facebook. So happy Friday, everybody. It is Adrienne, your PR diva. We are here with the incredible movement by herself, Miss Shante Paige.
Thank you. How are you doing, lady?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. Glad it's Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you missed me complaining. So I bought this, and you are a producer, so I'm sure you know all about the gadgets.
Right.
So I bought this little tripod stand type thing for my phone, and my phone won't even fit in the phone holder part.
Oh, yeah.
I was sitting here screwing and unscrewing, trying to figure it out, but it's just gonna go back to Amazon.
Yeah, send it right back. My mom is watching.
Hey, Shantae's mom.
Her birthday.
Hey.
Her birthday was Wednesday.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So, Shante is a producer. As I said on our social media, she is known for, and she had to get me together because I put some old stuff up there, I think, and I do apologize. I got that off of IMDb,
it's okay.
Just so you know. That's what they have on IMDb.
The craziest thing about IMDb is I was production manager for one episode, and it now has me as a production manager, which I don't do. So I'm like, yeah, it's okay though.
Yeah, so
It's okay.
when I saw your repost, I was like, "Oop, let me update mine."
Yeah.
So Shante has worked on Rickey Smiley for Real, House of Payne, Meet the Browns, and she is going to tell us a little bit about this beyond the pole, not behind
Beyond
the
the
pole, but
pole.
beyond the
Yeah.
pole. So introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, okay, I'm Shante Paige. I am a producer. I started in music fresh out of college. I was in the music industry. Worked with artists such as 702. I signed Kim, Chico DeBarge.
Wait, we're not going to skip over that one. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
You signed Kim?
Okay. Yes, I did. Yes. But
really?
I can't take credit for doing his album because he already did his album. My cousin, my favorite cousin, Derek Haskett, he heard the album at a cookout, and he's like, "It's an independent artist. You gotta sign this guy." And so I brought him into, my meetings at Motown, and eventually we ended up signing him. Coincidentally, they were already kind of researching him too, so it was like a win-win all around. But yes, that's the last artist that I signed.
Nice.
But I worked.
She said it all quick, y'all. I signed Kim.
Yes. But I'm looking up at my plaques on my wall. I worked with India, Erica, Joe. I had a very well-rounded music career, and my mom can attest. I woke up one day and said, "I'm not fulfilled, and I need to do something else." And I switched to TV and film, and I quit my job, which wasn't smart, but I did. And people in TV and film were like, "Okay, you're in music, but what can you produce? Like, what can you do?" And so I kind of had to find my way again in my 30s. So yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Well, no, we can talk about that now. So
Okay.
when you say it wasn't a good idea, like, for a moment, did you have regrets about quitting your job? Did you feel like, oh no, I need to get my job back? Or what was that feeling?
I think I'm a very passionate person. And if I feel unfulfilled at what I'm doing, I almost feel like I'm cheating. I can't explain it, but it's like, okay, I'm getting a check every week, but I don't feel like I'm earning that check. So I kind of felt guilty about that. And, I decided I want to do something else where I'm fulfilled. In retrospect, I probably could have married the two, but, I wasn't. I just kind of went out on a limb, and luckily, later it paid off, but it took a while. Like, I had to PA. That was thrilling because, a lot of people were like, "Okay, we don't respect people in music. Like, you guys, you're just kind of, you're getting paid all this money to do a job, and we don't really think, you know what you're doing in TV and film." So, I really had to work my way up. So I understand what it is, every single level of production. I understand.
That's really interesting. That's,
Yeah.
and I guess that kind of, I know later on I asked about myths in the industry and taboo kind of things like that. And for it to be so different in the world, for it to be music over here and television over here, and, we don't respect you, even though, like you said, you have plaques, you have awards, accolades from music, but then you had to become a PA to transition to television and film.
You don't have to do it that way. You don't have to, but there was a certain part of me that said, okay, I'm going to be a boss in this, so I'm going to learn every single level there is. So a PA can't tell me, "I don't want to go get your coffee." I did it, and so I didn't come in, at this top level. I was a senior executive who had to humble myself and do the job. So, yeah.
Wow. So you are from New York and raised in a DMV. Where in the DMV?
The DMV in Silver Spring, Maryland, HU,
okay.
And I went to Howard, graduated from Howard. Very proud of that.
Okay.
Very proud of that.
HBCUs in the house.
HBCU, yes, yes. I think every Black person should have that experience. Honestly, it was.
I agree, and you know it's so crazy because my son is in law school and he did not want to go to a HBCU, regardless of what I said. And I graduated from Morgan, and he's just like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I think when you do, that experience is like none other, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. And so I know we've spoken a little bit about being in music and things of that nature. And I asked, was this what you wanted to be when you grow up? So like when you were growing up, what is it that you really wanted to do?
I didn't know. I just knew that music moved me. So I toyed with, do I want to do music? Do I want to get into acting? I really wanted to do both. I was really shy. So acting,
really?
Yeah, I was really, really shy. So acting just wasn't, in the cards for me.
Okay.
But then I said, okay, music, that's kind of where it's going. And in college, I managed a group that Michael Ealy, the actor, was in.
Really?
Yeah, I managed a group. I got them signed to Gene Griffin, who had Guy, Teddy Riley, Blackstreet, all of those. And it didn't go anywhere. But, I mean,
it worked out.
Then, that's pretty big, I got them signed. So I knew then, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to be in music, but I don't know what. So then I had to move to New York and kind of navigate and figure out what I wanted to do. And ultimately it was A&R.
Okay. Yeah. See, we're getting all the tea from Shante, y'all. Green-eyed Michael Ealy was in the music.
Yes, he was.
He was in a group.
And he'll kill me when if and when he sees this. He's like, why are you telling people? But no, he can sing. The boy
I was getting ready to say, what genre was it? Was it R&B?
It was R&B, and he was the bass.
Really?
He was the bass. Yep.
Oh. I'm gonna have to run up on him in one of these interviews and tell him to sing me something.
Shante told me. He's gonna be like, that doggone girl. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, I know when I asked about projects, so that is Beyond the Pole. So tell us a little bit about now the name, and we're in Atlanta. Now, I'm assuming it was done in Atlanta, but we're behind Beyond the Pole. So
Stripper Capital.
Yes.
So Beyond the Pole is the day in the life of strippers, which, a lot of people that know me, they're like, that's not really something, that's not really, a couple of people came up to me and said, that's not your style. And I said, well, what's my style? Because, these are women, and they have a story. And who am I not to tell that story? So as long as, for me, I was able to tell an authentic story and tell tell every aspect of their life and why they do what they do, which has always intrigued me. I wanted to do I wanted to tell the story. So it's coming out in the fall on Urban Movie Channel. We don't have a release date yet, but it's in the fall for sure.
Now, was this documentary style? Was it reality style?
It's reality. It's reality style, and it was totally through my production company. I was a showrunner and executive producer. Yeah, so I'm really proud of it. I'm really, really proud of it. The girls are amazing. They each one has a unique story, but there's their mothers, their sisters, their strong Black women, and they're just trying to make their way. So it's
now, what piqued your interest on this topic? So how did you, even though I know you said you're shy, but then you're also passionate, so what was it that one day
I'm not shy anymore.
Oh. My bad.
I'm not shy anymore. I was shy. My mom put she's a movement. I'm not shy now. I was shy when I was, younger, but I'm in my 40s now. It's no shy.
Right. We don't have time anymore for the shyness.
No time for the shyness. Yeah.
So what made you wake up one day and say, I want to tell the story of strippers?
The other executive producer, Mark, came to me through Ed Woods and Rhonda Cowan. Rest in peace, Ed Woods. They told me that he wanted to tell this story. And to be honest, being in the music industry.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Mama telling? Mama is telling. She can sing, Mama.
Yeah. A little something.
Oh, okay, finish this part, then we're going to get to that part. Mama, keep it coming, Mama.
Yeah. I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking about telling the story.
So yeah, so they were the ones that came to me with this, and Mark really wanted to tell this story, and I felt like I'm that girl that was in the music business, that met producers in the strip club, that met artists in the strip club. Mm-hmm. Like I lived that life. Like I was always in the strip club because it was my job to be in the strip club. And I would always be that girl to say, why are you dancing? Like, why are you doing this? And they would look at me like, what the hell are you doing, Shante? And I'm like, I really want to know what makes a woman take her clothes off for a stranger. So, as long as it had a redemption factor to me, I felt like it's a story I wanted to tell.
That's great. That's because I've always, not that they need defending.
Right.
However, I hate that the debate always happens about certain places and certain professions that should not be taken seriously. And obviously stripping or exotic dancing is one of them. And, or even to take it a little further, people who are in the porn industry, or even when you make love in a movie scene, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are all jobs. And, it's the same way you separate your regular corporate 9-to-5 job is the way they're separating stripping from, like you said, being a mother, being an adult or businesswoman, or all these other things that they're doing. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Me too. I can't wait. Yeah.
So what would you tell your younger self now that would help you in the process as you were coming up, when you were, figuring it all out? What advice would you give to your younger self?
Don't stress so much. Like, and I still do overanalyze things sometimes. It all works out in the end. It really does. So I would say to her, be kinder to yourself. Don't beat yourself up as much as as I have to my younger self.
That's great information. Are you reading the comments? So Leonard said you all went to school together.
Okay. Hi. Sorry.
That made me think of Big Pun. Be like, you know me from where? Elementary school.
But I get that all the time, and I'm like, how old am I? Yeah, it's been a lot of years.
But most of my friends that I still have are from middle school. I don't know what it was about middle school, but
those are called lifers.
My Facebook friends.
Yeah, those are called lifers. I have those too.
Yes. Yeah. So you told your younger self some information. So what about the people who are coming behind you, who are looking to follow in your footsteps? What would you tell them, or what advice do you have for them?
To not give up. Not give up. And realize, like, some people are like trying to be rappers or singers, and they'll just continue to do it and do it. And if you continually hear you can't sing, get another career, then you might want to tweak it a little, and you might want to be the person behind the scenes versus the person in front of the scene. But you still are not giving up on your passion. So sometimes you have to remix it a little, but don't give up on it. But if you hear it from like 20 people, like, you can't sing, what are you doing? It's like,
right.
okay, maybe I need to tweak this, you know?
No, I really like that. I love the way you put it, like to remix it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a
all
great
about the
analogy.
All about the remix.
That is good. I'm gonna use that.
Tyler, I'm sorry. You know, I don't know, just from a name, and you have Martin Luther King. I don't. If I would have saw a picture, then I would probably remember. But yeah, sorry.
See, Leonard, you're gonna have to come harder than that.
Right. Give me something to work with.
So have you done everything that you want to do right now?
No. No. I think I'm just beginning.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you know, it's good because we're both in our 40s, and it's great for people to be able to hear and see that you can remix it.
Oh yeah.
You know that you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
it's
you
never
know when
too
people
late.
tell you,
never too late. You
never
know,
too
I think
late.
there was a woman who was in Wakanda, the film. She was in her 80s. She wanted to be an actress, and she finally did it. It's like if that's what moves you, nobody can tell you don't do it. And I think that's what my mom instilled in me my entire life. And if I didn't have that person on my shoulder saying, hey, you know, if you want to do that, you can do it. Because I would come to her with crazy as shit, excuse my language. And, you know, like, Mom, I want to do this. Okay, you can do it. And I would go do it. But if she said, what the hell are you talking about? You can't do that. Then it would probably, you know, it would have probably changed my mindset. But I just always felt like I can do anything.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it is. And that speaks to having a great support system,
Yeah.
whether it's your mom, your significant other, your child, you know, because my children push me as well. And so, you know, it's always good to have that support system and those people who have your back and tell you, you can do it.
Yes, it is. And that's why my nephew, Tiago, is in this business, and I've kind of reared him in this business, and he'll come to me with the craziest things, and I will say, yes, of course, you can do it. You know, I try to, as a producer, I try to tell him what's feasible money-wise, and, you know, he'll come up with all these crazy ideas, but at the end of the day, I don't hamper his dream, you know? That's important.
I'm still here. I'm just trying to prop the phone up. I had to plug it up, but I'm listening.
Okay. Now, I just think that's important with young people, that, you know, because we've been through it, and we kind of know that we don't say, oh no, that's not possible. You know, hey, you don't know. Look at Barack Obama. You don't know. He became president.
Yes.
If you know, his parents would have been like, oh, you're black, you can't be president. Where would he be? So
right. And I remember looking and reading the story of the older lady in Wakanda in Black Panther. I think she was like 70, late 70s.
Wakanda, but I'm like, Wakanda forever.
Everybody, Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
But I saw the story and I read that, and I think she was like late 70s, maybe early 80s, something like that. And, you know, that is a huge deal to be able to say, you know, it didn't matter how old I was. Yep. So we spoke a little bit about taboos and myths. So what is one myth in the industry that you would like to set straight?
Wow. That you've got to, you know, especially with the whole Me Too movement, you know, women sometimes feel like they have to acquiesce and do things that they really wouldn't want to do to get that role, to get that part, to get that job. You don't have to do that. So, and that's why I feel like this movement is so powerful. I mean, you know, I think some people are kind of going overboard with it, but, you know, that happens. But I think, you know, women are finally in their power again.
That's a good.
Because for a long time, you know, we kind of lost it. And I think even me coming from music, I've been in so many situations that I could have easily been that person that, you know, had that lawsuit or, you know, did whatever. But I'm like, you know, that person's going to get their comeuppance, and they just are. So it is what it is. But I feel like as a woman, you don't have to downplay yourself or give your power away just for that job, just for that part. You don't have to do that.
And I was going to ask you, because you were in music back during a time where a lot of these lawsuits are kind of popping up now. And so do you think that it's about time that they brought attention to it? Or do you think that, I know you said that some people are going a little overboard with it, but do you feel like anything could have happened or been done differently during those times?
Oh, it was out of control. It was out of control. It was out of control.
Okay.
I mean, the stories. Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah, so I think it's time. I definitely think it's time that, you know, that people are aware of their behavior and aware that they can't just, you know, assert themselves. No, I don't want you. Like, you know, they just can't do that. So yeah, that the business that I came from, it was way out of control.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we're going to slide a little bit over here. I'm going back to Mama now with the singing. Oh. So you mentioned wanting to be in music, and of course you're doing television now, but was singing ever an option for you? Did you want to be a singer, or do you just sing?
I wanted to be a singer, but I was too shy. And I didn't have the confidence to do it. And my mom actually found out that I could sing in a school play, and I got the lead in the play, and she was like, "What the hell? She sings?" And then and then she was like, "Wow!" And I got a standing ovation, and
nice.
Yeah, I felt like wow, but I just didn't have the confidence.
So you were the one that they were always at the cookout, like, "Go ahead and sing, baby. Shante, come on, sing something for
them."
And
I was not. Yeah.
So how do you feel about all of the singing competition shows? Like, what do you think about those, and the, I guess, the advantages that performers get that obviously performers didn't get when you were in music?
It's like, okay, you know, don't knock their hustle. Yeah, they have an advantage, but, you know, I think when you worked as hard as some of the artists that I came up with, they have an advantage because they have a different hustle. These artists have a different mentality today. They feel like they can just throw it on Instagram, throw it on social, and get, you know, 1 million likes, and they've made it. The artists were, you know, when I was in the business, you really had to work. So when you see people like the Cardi B's blowing up, it's because of her work ethic. Like she busts her ass. So, you know, it's a difference in the different shows. So I don't, you know, it's like, okay, you went on that show, but then you have to take it and you have to do something with it. It doesn't impress me that you won on that show. It impresses me what you do after. Jennifer Hudson, she milked it. So
yes. Yeah. And, you know, to your point, it's crazy because American Idol has been on for what, 20, 15, 20, but you only know or see about 5 of them through all those seasons. Or maybe not 5. I'll give a good 10 maybe.
Yeah.
When you count the Kelly Picklers and what's the other one? I forgot her name. But still, it's no more than 10.
Right.
But you've probably had 1,000 people come through that show.
Right.
So that's a great point that, you know, yeah, you were on a show, but what are you doing with what you accomplished?
And it's not necessarily the most talented person that wins. It's the hustle. It's the drive. It's the, you want me to be at this interview at 7 a.m. and then you want me to turn around and go to 5 more interviews and then turn around and do a show and then turn around and, you know, I'm not going to get home at 10 o'clock at night. Okay, I'm going to do it. Those are the people that make it. The people that are like, oh, I don't feel like it, and the him and ha and, you know, act entitled. It shows.
Yes.
It shows.
So Shay wanted to know, are there any talent agencies that deal with specifically for selection of cast members?
A selection of cast members.
So I guess for your shows that you do or when you produce new content?
I mean, for the reality shows, we don't look for cast members because, you know, it's like if we're tapping into a family or a subculture and it's organic, so it's whoever is naturally in their family. And if we need somebody, like, I don't know, like if they're working out and they need like a trainer or something, then we would reach out to those people. As far as, you know, for movies, Pierre Casting, George Pierre, he's a very reputable casting agent that casts most of the movies here in Atlanta. And we worked together when I was at Tyler Perry.
Okay. Yeah. That's great information. So is there anything else that our listeners, watchers should know about Shante? That your mama didn't already tell us?
I know. I don't know. I think that's about it. You welcome, Shay. I'm just beginning, so, you know, just kind of stay tuned because I've got a lot more coming.
And I do want to mention, I'm sorry, but you did answer here because this is close to my heart as well. And so you said bullying is near and dear to my heart. Yes. I was bullied as a child until I stood up for myself. Also, premature babies. Oh my God. Oh, you lost your son to a premature. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. I was when I was in the 6th grade. My mom might not even know this, but she does know I skipped school a lot. Because I pulled a fast one on her and changed the number of days I missed in school and made up this whole thing. And I got away with it, but I did it because I was being bullied and I didn't want to go to school. And so I was a very witty kid, you know, that had a street sense because of my grandfather. So I befriended the girl that was the bully, not my bully, but you know, like everybody was scared of her. And so I became her friend, and together we kind of tackled my bullying. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the premature babies, you know, I just want to give a shout out to all the women that have had miscarriages or carried children, because and that didn't make it, because, you know, a lot of times people put your worth in kids and being a mom. But, you know, when you've had that experience of carrying a child and then that child is born and that child is no longer here, you know, that counts for something.
It does.
And I just want those women to know, you know, you're, you know, you matter too.
Right.
So.
Right. And both of those actually happened to me as well. I had I got chicken pox when I was like 5 months pregnant with my first son.
Right.
My oldest son is in law school. But so I got chicken pox, and they did an amniocentesis to make sure, you know, the chicken pox wasn't spread or whatever. And after they did the amnio, when I went back to my follow-up appointment, the baby had. Yeah. So I recognize.
Most women have been through something, you know.
Yes.
I always say you can never tell what a woman's been through. Most women have a compelling story that they've, you know, that they've been through. But and my mom knows this, he lived, you know, and you know, any chance I get to talk about it, I want to talk about it, and I want to honor what he brought to my life, because I feel like I became a woman the day he died.
So that's interesting content. Or, you know, I'm sure there's a ton of, like you said, you know, millions of women who share your experience and share your feelings when it comes to premature babies. I have a friend in Maryland who does a lot with the SICU and the NICU babies.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so I understand completely. And then with the bullying is a huge deal. I talk about that also because, you know, our children are killing themselves, and it's heartbreaking that, you know,
Heartbreaking.
these bullies are affecting our children like this, and no one's really, now I'm not gonna say no one's doing anything about it, but it's just a huge problem.
Huge. And
So
my nephew Jonathan is actually on here. He went through a serious bullying problem too, as well, as a, you know, preteen and teenager. So yeah, it's a serious situation. And then he's also covering social media. Now he's doing a whole social media movement, but you know, social media now is the new cyber attacking.
yes.
You know, and you're being bullied. You know, all the comments, and I couldn't imagine being an artist now with all that's happening. So
Yeah. I posted, I'm not sure if you watched the video, but I posted a video of the 10-year-old that, you know, he was talking about the trolls on his page because of the gap in his teeth.
Good for him. He stood out.
Yes. And so I was like, that
He's
is
like,
awesome.
where's the love, or something like that, he said. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. He was like, fix your heart. So,
yeah. Yep. Fix your heart.
So, yes. So, and then one of your final thoughts that you had was, women are so incredibly powerful, and the power of she. You know, it's so crazy. At the beginning of this year, a few things were coming up. The Me Too was kind of bubbling a little bit, but other things were happening. I was like, okay, so 2018 is going to be the year of the woman, huh?
Yeah, it really is. Because
so,
I think most women don't, you know, recognize how powerful we are. We just don't recognize it.
Yeah, social media awareness is needed. It is. But yeah, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know what time is it? Just a little bit over, but this is amazing. So is there anything else that we didn't ask, that we didn't cover, that you want to talk about?
No.
Any upcoming projects
Rickey Smiley
that you can
for
spill a tea
real,
about?
season 5. We're starting in a week. I'm excited about that.
Say it again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
We're starting Rickey Smiley for real season 5 in a week. I'm very excited about that. It's going to air, I think, November, so around that time. Beyond the Pole, I'm super excited about that, because that's like my baby pet project that I think is going to do really well.
So I love when Rickey Smiley, when they go over to what's the island they go to?
Bimini?
Yes.
Bimini. He's in Bimini now. I was like, I'm jealous. Yeah.
I was like, he loves Bimini.
He loves Bimini. He takes his boat over there. I was trying to get insight, you know, because we're about to start. He's like, I'm in Bimini. I'm on vacation. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
So that is great. And I'm looking forward to, so are you going to, like, I'm sure when you get a date or release, you'll do press and everything for Beyond the Pole.
Oh yeah, we're going to take over. We're going to do a whole Beyond the Pole weekend. Because, you know, Atlanta's a strip club capital, so we have to do it. We have to do it big. So we will.
Now, did you see that they were considering moving the BET Awards here?
I would love them to do that. I would love it. George, yes. And see, George Daniels is on here. He was that dude when I was in the music industry. And the thing about George is he's managed to stay relevant, you know, decades. If you're in the music business and you don't know who George is, you need to get out.
So George, we need to have you on next.
Yeah.
Shante, connect George and I.
Okay.
So I can have him as a spotlight on here next.
He's that dude.
Okay. So yeah, I saw yesterday that they were talking about the BET Awards. Now someone made a comment and said, as soon as the BET Awards come to Atlanta, it's going to turn into the Source Awards. What do you think?
I don't think they're going to let that happen. I really don't. I know Connie Orlando very well at BET, and I don't think that, you know, her and her team are going to let that happen.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I think it'll be a great thing for Atlanta. Atlanta is the mecca of, you know, the film industry now, and and the music, everything in entertainment. You can't do it without putting Atlanta stamp on it. So I think it's only fitting that it comes to Atlanta. And no, I don't think it'll become the Source Awards.
Hey, George, how are you?
That's that dude
so
right
you heard
there.
That. So Shante, huh?
I said, that's that dude.
So Shante is going to connect us so we can do your spotlight next.
Mm-hmm.
So tell the people how to meet you. Tell the people, any final thoughts that you have, connections, tips, tricks of the trade, any of those things.
I just, like I said before, I feel like, if you can envision it and you can see it, you can do it. I tell my nephews that. I tell my nieces that. I tell people that I mentor that. I don't think any idea is too small because you just never know. Imagine when, somebody said, "Oh, I want to start Facebook." It's like,
right.
It was for colleges initially, and then all of a sudden it blew up, and you just never know. So I don't think any idea is too small. I don't think any question is ridiculous. Ask questions if you don't know. If the person tells you you're ridiculous for asking that question, then they're the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
It's
mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything that you can't ask. So, yeah, I think that's it. Unless anybody wants to ask anything.
Anybody else have any questions?
Love you too, George.
Okay. I'm making up a question. Somebody said, "Ask Shante to sing."
No way. No way.
I tried.
Yeah, he tried. No.
Anyone else have any questions? Well, this will be posted on the IPY Agency YouTube page in its full splendor, along with the Facebook page. And then I'm going to pull out, I have a little more than a minute now since Instagram gave us some more time.
I know, right? I love that.
I used to have to try and go find a good minute that I could use to highlight on Instagram, but at least now I have like 5 or 7 minutes or something like that.
Do you edit?
So as long as they give us on Instagram, that's what I'm going to post on Instagram. But feel free to reach out to me, email me if you have any other questions for Shante. Look out for Beyond the Pole. Watch for Rickey Smiley for real in a few months after that. You think it'll before or after the poll? I think the poll will come first.
Poll will come first. Beyond the Pole will probably come September, October. Rickey Smiley season 5, November, I think.
So watch for those things. Thank you so much, Shante. This has been amazing. I appreciate your time.
Oh, no problem. Appreciate you.
We will chat some more so you can connect George to get him on here next.
Okay.
And Mama, you were amazing. I feel like you were on here. Oh, I'm sorry, Talise. I'm going to put it up for you, though.
Yes.
Tell your mom I can't wait to meet her. She's been great, even though she didn't get on it. She's in there with you?
No. She's
okay.
Yeah, she just
tell her to say hi.
Yeah, she logged on to see her baby. But yeah, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shante. We will holler at y'all later.
All right. Thank you. Proud of your movement.
You're welcome.
Too.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.